Okay. Oh, you jumped off your bed? Okay, well that gives me more room. Yay, she's not on her fuzzy warm blanket. Anyway, hi guys. This is just a quick follow-up to the flu conspiracy theory video I just made. One of my commenters mentioned that the flu virus does better in colder temperatures, right? So I decided to research that, and sure enough, I'm looking at an article on my computer right now that says that they do better. The flu does better in cold temperatures. That's why it's so prevalent in the winter. Well, if that theory is true, then I say tons of people should be getting the flu in the summer too, because why? The majority of this country lives in air-conditioned buildings, work in air-conditioned buildings. They live in air-conditioned homes. I've been into restaurants that are so cold that I have to put a sweater or sometimes even a light jacket on in the summer. Schools, daycares, you know, kids go to, I forgot that in my other video, kids go to summer school. They're all air-conditioned, nice and cold. Daycares are air-conditioned. Restaurants air-conditioned. Office buildings air-conditioned, very cold. I used to work in an office building, and it was so cold I had to wear a sweater every day. I worked in a hospital, mind you, for a while, and it was so cold. How many of you have gone into a hospital and you're freezing, right? Because they keep it so cold. So then why isn't the flu rampant in the summer when all these buildings are so cold and they're still filled with the same people that were in there in the winter? Tons of people, right? You see, these theories don't work for me. All these, or not theories, I should say, these reasons that they give as to why the flu is so strong in the winter. If they prefer, I've read several articles that say, well, it prefers the cold temperatures. Well, then all of us are living in colder temperatures in the summer. It should be going crazy in the summer, don't you think? I'm reading articles, I just read several articles that said that the flu virus is stronger because it creates a barrier around itself. The virus itself creates like a shield around itself to be stronger, so that it can be passed easier in the cold. That's what it does, supposedly. They say it creates this shield around itself to withstand the cold. Okay, well then, and then it says in the summer that it doesn't do that. Well then, all summer long, while we're all enclosed in our homes, our apartments, our work offices, our hospitals, our schools, our daycares, which are cold as can be, they're kept cold, let's be honest. I live with my cooler on 24/7 in the summer, literally. Once the temperature reaches a certain point outside, my air conditioner does not get shut off. It stays on. I can't take the heat at all. Okay, so all these buildings are cold. All these buildings are filled with people. Well, the flu should be having a heyday in the colder temperatures, right? Makes sense to me. So what does the flu do in the winter? Hang out outside where it's stronger and somebody touches it and then they bring it inside and transfer it to all their family, friends, and whoever. You see how it all doesn't make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. No matter what they say, it doesn't make sense. I'm looking at an article right now that states that it says it was found that the virus is transmitted better at low temperatures and low humidity rather than at high temperatures and high humidity. Really? Well, New Mexico is very dry. We're a desert. So in the summer, with this extremely dry weather and cold buildings, well, we should just be going crazy with the flu, right? If according to what all these articles I've read that say it does better in colder temperatures, well then that just doesn't make sense that in the winter when we've all got our buildings heated, the flu shouldn't like that very much, right? How many of you are hanging out outside in tons of groups out in the cold in the winter. Not too many. We're all inside in a very well heated, most people are inside in a very well heated building or home or apartment or whatever, school, whatever. It's heated. So the flu shouldn't like that very much, according to these articles. So you see, I don't trust what they say. We all know what they means, whoever writes whatever articles about anything anymore. And so I don't trust that. Doesn't make sense, does it? To sit here and have all these articles that I have read that say, oh yeah, flu does better in colder temperatures, drier temperatures. Really? Well, New Mexico couldn't be drier. And in the summer, my goodness, are we dry. We are bone dry. And we're all inside our nice cold buildings. I would think that flu bug would be thinking, oh, this is perfect. I'm in a cold building. I can spread to everybody all day long, every day. But guess what? It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's the winter. It's the winter that comes. So that, to me, negates the whole thing of, oh, well, the flu does better in colder temperatures. Well, okay, then why isn't it doing better in the summer when we are actually living and working and being in cold buildings? Doesn't make sense, does it, guys? At least it doesn't to me. And that's why I say, for me, this is just like some kind of a, I don't know, maybe it is just like a conspiracy theory thinking right now, but you have to think about it and think, well, that doesn't make sense. If they're saying that it does better in cold, why isn't it doing great in the summer when everybody's actually living, sleeping, working, breathing cold, in cold air in buildings? Right? Right. Nope, it's the opposite. When we're all inside in our heated buildings where supposedly the flu doesn't do as well in heat, everybody's getting the flu across the country and the world. So, can you answer that one for me, all you people online who are writing articles that it does better in colder temperatures, drier temperatures? Can't get much colder and drier than here in New Mexico. You go everywhere in the summer and it is so cold because it gets so hot here. It gets so hot. I mean, not, like some places, but it gets very hot here in the summer. And, when we reach our temperatures of 98, 99, 100, 101, that type of thing, yeah, coolers are blasting everywhere. Buildings are freezing to fight that heat. So why isn't that lovely little flu making camp in everybody's homes and businesses and schools and what have you, spreading its infectious self to everybody when it's cold, since they say it likes cooler temperatures? Once again, guys, doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't care what anybody says. I just find it too weird that somebody, think about it, you're watching the news and what do you hear? The first case of flu has shown up in, we'll say, New York. First person with the flu. Oh my gosh. Then you hear, first person caught the flu in your own state, right? You turn on the news. The first person has contracted the flu in Texas, whatever. Really? Well, how? Where? Where did it come from? Where did it come from, guys? That first person caught it, who will then spread it to somebody else, who will then spread it to somebody else, and on and on and on, right? Where did it come from, guys? I need the answer. I don't want to hear why it survives better in certain temperatures, because that to me doesn't even fly now that I thought about the whole temperature thing. But where did it come from? Where did it come from to infect that first person? It had to come from somewhere. You cannot catch a cold or a flu unless you are exposed to the bug that creates that illness. So, when you turn on the news and you hear the first person in your state has contracted it, well, where did they get it from? Were they on an airplane that somebody else had it? Were they where did that person get it then from? You see what I'm saying? It has to start somewhere. How does it start? Where did it come from? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Think about it. It just doesn't make any sense that out of the blue, oh, first person in the country gets the flu. Well, where did they get it from? And like I said, you have to be exposed to it in order to catch it. You have to be exposed to the bug. Okay, so they caught it from somebody. Well, where did that person get it from? You see what I'm saying? In order to catch the cold or a flu, you've got to be exposed to the bug. Who's spreading that bug for us to catch it? That's my question. That's truly my question, because it doesn't make sense that we go all summer, nobody's catching the flu. Like, I got a commenter who said, oh, well, the flu's around year round. Well, guess what? Where I live, you're not hearing on the news about people catching the flu all summer. I don't hear about it on the news about people catching the flu all summer. I'm sure there are some cases here and there, maybe. Who knows where they travel to or whatever. But it's not on the news. Why? Because it doesn't happen like that. That's why they get on the news and they say, flu season is coming. Why is it coming? As I said in my previous video. So, you see how this just isn't making sense to me? I mean, I've got one person who said that they believe that this is like kind of excuse me guys, is kind of like a, population control, which I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't put it past the government, because if you check into our government and what they did long ago in the 40s and 50s to people, what have you, you'll be so surprised to find out what they did to people. So I wouldn't put it past that, because it just is totally illogical to say, flu season's coming, flu season's ending. Where did the first person get the bug? Where? You go all summer. I watch the news. I check online. I mean, I'm not a news watcher, but I check up on news online and stuff. I don't see articles all summer. Oh, there's 10 people in this state with the flu. There's 20 people with the flu. Oh, this child has the flu. I don't read that. But as soon as the flu season starts, miraculously, first person in New York has the flu. First child died from the flu in Montana, wherever, Interesting how that works, isn't it? I think it's really interesting. So yeah, just had to say this real quick, because when I read that comment, I thought, wait a minute. If the flu likes the cold, well, then it should be going crazy in the summer in these buildings that are all nice and air conditioned, and tons of people are going into, especially restaurants where, who knows the cleanliness factor of how they wash those dishes that you're eating off of. You don't know. I mean, we don't know. Look at the horrible things we've seen people do in restaurants to the food you're eating, That's another thing right there. You got people touching the food all summer long in these cold buildings. Where's the flu? It should be love in that temperature that's colder, as all these articles try to say. So, just another thought, guys. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Oh, well, baby, it's okay. You can go back on your blankie over there.